Happy gaming, ladies and gentlemen. This is Aly from The Professionals, here to share a bit about our experiences in ArcheAge's NA Alpha. This short video is the first of a few we're pulling together for impressions and tutorials, and we'll look at shipbuilding. So let's jump in and get wet. Now let's start with a look at the ships that are available to players in ArcheAge. Now, this isn't meant to be an exhaustive list, neither in how many ships we're looking at or in the features of the ships that we have a chance to see, but just a few examples for you on what you'll be able to acquire in-game. Now this first one, it's not very sexy, but it's functional and basically free. If you're fearing a Harani, you'll pick up this rowboat while questing in Ma Devi. Now, I'm not sure about Nuians or Elves, but hopefully someone will let us know in the comments. It's a solid boat. Really recommend everybody keep it on hand at the very least until you have another, and it will get you across the ocean to finish the final trade run quest when you're looking to pick up your large farm. Now the next ship is the fun and well-traveled Seabug. This is my beloved harpoon clipper. It's made many a trade run, and for us it definitely doubles as a party boat. Now you should be aware, let's call this a public service announcement, parties on the sea in ArcheAge tend to include getting jumped by sea creatures, pirates, and overexcited guildmates taking full advantage of character collision and pushing you overboard. But the Clipper is a really fast and maneuverable ship, can fit quite a few people with trade packs on their back or not, and it will get you where you're going pretty quickly. I should mention that this and the other two ships we're going to look at are crafted by the player. Designs are purchased using either Nui's tiers or Guildastars, and we'll talk about those in a little bit more in a bit. Now the next ship I want to show you is the Merchant ship, which is ideal for trade runs. My guildmate Kedwin is going to summon the good ship Moneybag so that we can take a look. Now even though the Merchant ship is a little bit slower than my Clipper Seabug, it's still ideal for trade runs basically because of three additions. And the first you probably see already are the cannons. So you've got some defense, some pretty hardcore defense against, scurvy individuals who want to hop aboard and steal your fat loots, if not your entire ship. The second thing, if you see that device bobbing up and down at the front of the ship, that's a radar. And another passenger ship can hop on that thing and see ships at range. The other thing are all of these crates. Now, if you took a pack on my boat, the pack would have to stay on your back at all times, because if you set it down, it'd sink to the bottom of the ocean. And of course, if you've ever had a trade pack on, you know that it slows you down immensely. Whereas here, not only can you carry multiple packs per person because you can set them down, but it allows you a lot more freedom of movement to protect yourself, your ship, and your goods. Now here we are at the Mirage docks, and I just wanted to show you where you actually purchase the plans for the ships. You see the Clipper there, the Cutter, the Merchant ship, and the Fish Find Longliner, which is a fishing boat. Now unfortunately I don't know anyone with one yet to show you, but I'll have one soon, and maybe we'll throw it in a future video. But we're here for the Cutter, and when I pull it up here you'll see it costs Nui tiers. Now some ships cost tiers, others cost Guildastars, it varies. Now mousing over any design plans will tell you the required materials, and we see here that we'll need 100 lumber to drop the dry dock to construct the ship, and then 5 bundles each of lumber, fabric, and iron. So let's go ahead and start getting those materials together. I will say a quick word about Nui's tiers if you're not familiar with the currency. Just briefly, there are often quest rewards, there are honor quests in certain zones for killing a certain number of mobs, and so you get anywhere from 1 to 5. They are also sometimes found in chests that you can find around the world. But also, it's kind of a fun way to get them. If you ever see a super tall spot like this little random thing in the middle of the zone here, try and get up to the top of it. You ever see a waterfall? Go stand underneath it, because every now and then you're going to get a Nui's tier. And if you're super lucky, after you get it and you're excited and you just think, alright, let's find a fun way down, well, sometimes you get a second one. So, that's how you collect Nui's tiers. Now, if there was ever part of a movie that deserved a montage, it's probably the raw material gathering phase as we want to build this ship. So I'm just going to ask that you take my word for it when I say you're going to be doing a lot of this. And a lot of this. And occasionally, some of this. There's definitely going to be some of this. Some of this. And a little bit of this. Until you can finally go home and do this. some of this. And definitely some of this. Yeah. But the good news is, once the raw materials are gathered, you can just find a workbench, go AFK, turn them all into usable materials. Go AFK at a workbench in a city with guards. Well, now that we have our refined materials, let's go ahead and make our bundles. Now 300 iron ore makes 100 ingots, and 100 ingots makes this bundle. And bundles are the necessary state of materials if you're using them to construct a house or a ship. So let's hop on our donkey, feed her a carrot, and take it to a safe place. And I say safe place because that's important here. Now bundles are one of those big flags on your back that says, come try and kill me. Because if somebody killed me, I would drop this bundle, and long before I got back, they would be able to pick it up and leave, or in the case of material bundles, break it down and receive a percentage of the material that was used to actually create the bundle. And therefore they'd get most of it, and in a way that wouldn't require them to be slowed down by the weight of the bundle. But you can always place it here, along this edge of my house here, which is an area I'm paying taxes on. It's protected. In the same way that people couldn't pick plants that I've planted there, they can't pick up bundles that I've placed there. And the same is true if I was placing it on farmland. And well, you can see I've got all 15 bundles needed to build the ship, so let's do it. Now I neglected to get video of actually placing this, but what you see here is the dry dock where the ship is actually built. Now it costs 100 lumber to place, and this is where you actually use the design item that you purchase with the Nui's tiers. And we'll start with because that's where it's built, that's where all of these bundles that I've created need to actually be taken. The construction of the ship takes place at the dry dock. And this is where the really great combination of risk, reward, and protection comes into play in ArcheAge. It's one of the things I absolutely love. All of these bundles, as I mentioned before, not only slow you down, make it more difficult to travel and fight, but their big flag on your back is pretty obvious that not only are they going to get some honor points or some pleasure out of killing an enemy or a friend, they're going to also get materials and maybe even a full pack out of it. So that's why you'll see we've got 8 people running these packs right now, 5 people running them, and 3 people who are just running active support, scouting, and ready to be the swift-footed attackers that those of us carrying bundles can't be.
Yeah, definitely. We're straight.
Now the dock is actually protected for 3 days, meaning they cannot be attacked until that period of time has passed. But the packs, again, they're fair game. So here's a group of us going. We've got 500 lumber in packs. Come get some if you want. So let me just shut up. Alright, I watched a couple of scenes of building the ship. Hope you enjoy, and I'll get back with you in a minute.
Oh, I got 25 honor points from the war ending.
Nice.
I lost
got 21.
6. You lost 6?
Oh. Trying to figure out how I got kicked at him so bad.
Oops.
I'm just sitting here. He's ready to fight.
Portal on the dock in just a minute.
Gives me the option to obtain this item after crafting process is complete.
I'll go ahead and do the last bit then.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
Yeah, if you touch the wheel, it says it's ours.
You recorded the video? Oh, never mind.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so cool.
Love the sail.
Floating on the deck? Look at me.
Yep, I'm on deck too.
Look at how high I'm up, though.
To finish our video on ships in ArcheAge, let's go ahead and summon and take a closer look at the cutter. So I'll just go ahead and tell you up front, after spending some time with PRX on the seas and this girl last night, it is an absolutely incredible ship. Lots of bells, whistles, functionality, some of which just make it a little more fun to trek across the ocean, but a lot that make this an absolutely devastating ship to have in your fleet, whether your goal is to protect or terrorize the seas. But let's head up to the bow. The first thing we'll do is drop the anchor. Now, this actually does buff the ship and stops it right where it's at, which is nice, unless somebody has a little, hey, what's this button do moment when you're trying to travel somewhere. The crates are the same as the merchant ship. You can drop a couple packs there, though only 4. The cannons are the same, only a lot more. There's 8. And yeah, that's a plank. Because you never know who you're going to pick up and then want to drop off. I'm not going to lie, I've pushed a few people off that already. There is a radar. It's up in the crow's nest, so let's go take a look at that as we shuffle up this awkwardly. Now the radar is used probably a little differently here. I mean, the functionality of it is the same, but you know, you use this on the merchant ship to find out who to avoid. Yeah, you use it here to find out who to run down. And hey, if somebody's not paying attention in TeamSpeak, ring the bell. Let them know. There's actually 3 different bells, so maybe you can play a song. I don't know. We'll figure that out. A couple of different ways down from the crow's nest. That happens to be my favorite. Let's pick up the anchor and take her for a quick spin. Now, I've only captained this vessel for a relatively short time, but it's pretty clear that, well, maneuverability was not very high on the priority list. Fortunately, there are some buffs that help with this, including a 2-minute speed buff with a 5-minute cooldown, and another speed buff that specifically affects turning speed, which has already come in quite handy. There's also a 10-minute speed buff with no cooldown, but it's a pretty heavy amount of regents, so it's probably not something you use every day. Another really fun buff is called Turbulence, which for a 2-minute effect and a 5-minute cooldown sends out huge bursts of air in every direction from the ship. And what that does is it'll actually knock down any enemy with the audacity of trying to board your ship with a glider. It'll just knock them straight into the sea. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our look at ships in ArcheAge. On behalf of PRX, I can definitely say we've had a blast in Alpha and look forward to much more. A huge thank you to Trion for inviting us to be a part. So comment, let us know what else you'd like to see, and I hope to see you on the seas. Wave hello when you do, unless you're from the western continent, in which case you might want to head for the nearest shore as quickly as possible.
Is it bad that I actually really like the music?
Yes.
The flutes?
Yes.
It'll also pass.
You'll learn to
I
hate
like
it.
it so annoying.